the Bible say about Christians listening to secular music? And I listen to what I want to listen. Is music just entertainment or is it actually worship, whether it's God or other things? Tell me what you think. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Desiree, your host, if you're new here. And welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. Today, I want to talk about a controversial topic in particularly the Christian community, but overall, just in general, can Christians listen to any type of music they want? So let me tell you what brought this up. So two things actually. I want to say maybe a month or two ago, my church pastor was saying how, as we grow more and more modern in this world, debauchery and more sexual sins and, just inappropriate stuff or more apparent today than back in the day. Now, that's not exact words, but you get the gist of it. And then another thing that brought this up was, I want to say like a month ago, me and a coworker was talking about certain music we listen to. And he was telling me how when he listens to rap music, he tends to get more impatient. But he told me when he listens to gospel music, he feels more alive or patient and just overall calm. Me personally, I love listening to rap music. Now hear me out. Hear me out. I don't know why. It's just something I've been used to ever since I was a little kid. I literally 8 years old, listening to Ludacris. And if you know, you know. Even if I didn't know what the words meant, I just like the, bump and grind and, like the flow with the rhythm, even though looking back on it, my parents probably should not have let me listen to them. And I will say, I don't know if it affects my behavior to the point where it makes me act a certain way, but I will say, I've noticed when I do listen to more of like the hardcore rap type stuff, like Elite Choppa or Young Boy, even Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, even I will say my language does become a little more foul than what it needs to be, and my mindset doesn't change. It doesn't influence me to do anything, at least behavior wise. But I do notice how like when I'm interacting with people, my words come off a little more harsh and brash than what they should. But that also goes to other music too that isn't like profane, but it's still of the world. Like I was also listening to Alicia Keys, back in the day, Usher, like My Boo. And that does influence me where I'm thinking about like romance and love a little more than usual, which nothing is wrong with thinking about stuff like that. But when it comes to a point where we think about that more so than the men above, and that's what at least I think it becomes an issue. So as of now, my current playlist consists of like the rap or sort of love songs. I have very few songs that are just gospel or Christian music. Let's say I have 100 songs. I may have like two or three that are Christian music. I have one from Lecrae and Tori Kelly. I have one from Marvin Sapp. Never would have made it. And then have another one from, I can't say his name. Gazala. If you know, you know. So I tried listening to Christian rap before, and I tried again just this past week with a couple different rappers. And can I just say, it sounds a little cringy to me. And I know that's like, personal preference, but when you're telling me, hold up, I ain't with that devil can get his lick back, that is a line for sure, but it just sounds cringe to me. And I don't know why. Like, it's glorifying God. And it's a nice beat, but I'll be embarrassed if someone hear me listen to that in the car. I don't know why. Another one, if I Jackie Hill Perry. I love Jackie Hill Perry as a preacher, and she has a nice voice, but when I listen to her new song, I don't know the name. I think it's called Shimmy, Little Way I Walk, with Aha Gazala. I can't remember this man's name. Nice lyrics, nice flow, nice tone, all that. It's just something about how lyrics glorifying God are come up cringe to me in music. And I don't know why. That's what I should want. I should want to be around words that glorify God. If I want to be around people that glorify God, why not the music I listen to can do it too? It's just a very weird dynamic. I'm still wrestling through, to be honest. And maybe it's just the fact I'm just not used to it. I honestly, it is a little bit of a problem because why am I so okay with listening to Chris Brown, saying how he wants to do these things to these girls, or these rappers in general talking about what they do to these girls and how, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion do with these men and, and they only talk about the money. It's comfortable to me. But when it comes to like Christian music, and gospel, for some reason, it just feels off. And I don't know why. Maybe it's the enemy trying to keep me in this stronghold that I didn't know I was having up until this point in my life. I'm 26, but it is something that has came to my attention more so over the past couple of weeks. I'm trying to put together a playlist to see maybe if I curate a playlist of different people and listen to that for a little bit. Maybe that would, I don't know, change my appetite for music. But it's still, as of now, it's still very Chris Brown, Bryson Tiller, L.E. Choppa. Well, actually, I don't listen to L.E. Choppa like that. Lotto. Wow, Lotto is a big one. I just love her music. And I think she has a nice voice. I mean, I honestly, the music she's talking about is not God glorifying, but I will say her song "Somebody." When I hear something I resonate with, it just becomes a whole different type of vibing out. And if you know, you know, especially if you're a girl going to something, whether you're a friend or a man problem, need some love, you just know. And that becomes my next question. Is music just entertainment or does all music mean something? I really don't know. Cause like I said before, the music doesn't necessarily make me want to go do stuff that I'm not supposed to do. But I do notice how my language gets more foul sometimes, depending on what type of hardcore rap I'm listening to. Or like I said, with the love songs, like I said, Alicia Keys, then you be in your feelings, even though there's something wrong with that, it's still just like to a point when it's an issue. I honestly don't know. I will hear your thoughts about it. We all have free will, but it does say, and I want to say Proverbs, above all else, guard your heart. And I know it says Colossians, what talks about music is worship. Um, anyway, so it's music. Can it just be entertainment? Does it affect us? Also, another creator I follow, I want to say her name is Sierra Janae on Instagram and TikTok. She's a Christian influencer. I was following back on her videos and I noticed how she said, there's a real TikTok she did where she talked about how the music we listen to is affecting us. And she used the song Anxiety by Dolce, that popular song, even to this day, how it can affect us. And other Christians have talked about this song specifically too, about how we're letting words speak over us. And yes, the power of the tongue is so real. And to a point, I will say other people's words spoken over us does affect us. But does that song particularly, can that make me cause anxiety? Me personally, no, I don't feel like it can. Can it make me influence me to think there's something wrong around me? Again, personally, for me, no, I don't feel like the song is making something happen around me that's not happening, and I don't feel like it's gonna cause something to happen that wasn't supposed to happen. That's just me, but I have seen other people talk about how they have listened to certain songs or even watched certain content in general, and they knows how it's sort of manifest in their life, and that makes sense. I personally have never had that issue to the point where I felt like a song or the content I'm consuming is manifesting in my life in a negative way. That could be a whole different conversation for a different day about just the content, which is in general. That's what I have today, guys. The other song that's been on my mind, the Bible doesn't explicitly say we can't listen to profane or I guess secular worldly music. But like I said before, it does say above your guard, above all else, and music is worship. So you can take that with what you will. Me personally, I'm still on the fence about it. And even though I am on the fence about it, I see I'm still trying to change the taste in my music. I'm not a gospel girl. The whole slow and praise him. Outside church, me personally, I don't listen to that type of stuff, when I'm vibing out in the car. So I would need some Christian rap or Christian pop songs to keep me, upbeat, happy on my way to work or whatever I'm doing. Also, besides that Marvin Sapp song, maybe one or two of the songs, AJ Harrison, Deserve It, favorite song of the gospel songs I do listen to. But me personally, I do need a rap or a Christian pop song in order to give me, hey, God, what's up, but gospel, me, no, outside church, not for me personally. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think down below. Do you think Christians can listen to what they want without any influence happening, or do you think all music is some type of worship, good or bad? Tell me what you think below. But besides that, guys, in this episode, make sure you follow me on my social media down below, both my IG and TikTok and YouTube. If you're listening to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, it's Convos for Desiree. Make sure you follow me on all platforms. Keep up with the latest updates, and please help support this channel and support this community while I keep building it. Also, feel free to comment down below what would you like to discuss more. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.